Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kristen. Thank you for taking time stopping by my channel. Today is Wednesday. It is my bookish related video. And what I wanted to talk about today is the reading slump, which I think is defined just as either not reading at all or just reading a significant amount less than what we normally read. And there are multiple reasons that we go into reading slumps. And so there may be multiple reasons that we can overcome that or get over it. But the very first, I think most important thing to consider for a reading slump or coming out of one is to do nothing. I think it is okay and legit to be reading less than we sometimes are. I think there's cycles and just natural rhythms of life, and that is okay, and we need to give ourselves permission. When we pile on the guilt or we pile on a lot of expectations to read, it takes a lot of the joy and the fun of the reading gone. And maybe you need to read for a particular class or a particular commitment that you've done, and so there may be some things that you can do to help overcome that reading slump. The first thing you can do is commit to that. Read a chapter, right? I'm just going to read one chapter. I'm going to read the chapter and then do something else. So you allow yourself just to read that chapter. And when you do it, you need to really focus in and do it. It's not just going through the motions and letting your eyes skim along the words or doing it half-heartedly. It's going ahead and really focus. And for that, 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how long the chapter is, you just focus on that book. Now, if it's an assignment, it's actually pretty helpful to take notes either in the book or on a piece of paper or a book club, or if you're going to do a video about it or whatnot, because sometimes the motion of writing or, taking notes actually can help kind of pull you into the book and out of the reading slump a little bit. So the first thing is just to read a chapter and make that short-term goal. The second thing you can do is change books, right? If you were reading a book and maybe that just isn't the genre, maybe it's not a bad book, maybe it's just not the book that you're in the mood to read right then. Put the bookmark in it. I mean, if it's horrible, go ahead and put it in the giveaway pile. It's okay to not finish a book. No guilt in that. Life is too short. There's too many books to read the ones that are just totally not for us. But maybe it's just not our season to be reading that particular genre. So put a bookmark in it. Remind yourself where you are. Take a different book, totally different author, different genre, different, topic, whatever. Read that. If you're doing school or whatever, go back and forth between a couple. The one you like more, kind of use that as a momentum to get you going into the other one. So changing books, buying or getting a new book. So if you don't have the money to go to a bookstore and buy yourself a new book that you're excited to read, go to the library. Go to a friend's bookshelf that is willing to let you borrow a book. Get a new book in your hands or a new ebook if that's how you prefer to read. Go ahead and splurge, get something you're excited about, some new release, something you've been meaning to read, something that people have been recommending. Get something that kind of has some hype to it, and then go back to reading a chapter or taking some notes or whatnot and see how that works. That usually can energize a reading slump right up. And then just commit. Just go ahead and commit to getting it done, to being in a book club, to having a book buddy read. Commit to getting a certain amount of read by a certain day. Make a goal, right? So if you set that goal, you are way more likely to reach that goal. And a lot of times I'll say, okay, I want to read this book by the end of the month because I really want to tell my viewers on YouTube about it, or I really know I'm going to see this friend at the coffee shop next Friday and I think they would like this book, but I need to find out how it ends, right? So there's that. And then just going back to reiterate that sometimes it's okay to do nothing. And I'm going to back up what I'm even saying and say this month has been a reading slump for me. I normally read 7 to 10 books. I sometimes can read up to like 4,000 pages in 1 month, but not this month. I just was preparing for a mission week. I was on mission week. I was getting ready to travel, getting to take off time working extra hard, stressed out. And you know what I really wanted to do when I had a few minutes besides read? do those little mindless games, like the Candy Crush Tetris. I really like Harry Potter puzzles. That's what I wanted to do instead of read. And you know what? I just did it. And it was fine. And I will still get 3 books read. So stay tuned next week. I will have 3 amazing books to review for you for my month. And that's okay that I only will have the 3. I read a nonfiction, Emerald Mile, about the Grand Canyon. I am almost done with my classic, Rebecca, which is a great suspense novel. And you will note I did not even feel any of the new releases that Book of the Month had. They all felt very heavy, very kind of war or violence or sorrow or grief or loss or tragedy or kidnapping or things that was too heavy a subject for me. And so I just said skip the month. And that was okay. It's okay. I am going to read Jackson Kerr. You sent me a copy of this for review. I haven't started to read it, but it is on my goals to read for the month. So if I only get to 3 books, those are the 3 I'm going to read. A new author, a nonfiction, and a classic. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy it and be happy and be a good reader and just love life. So I'm feeling, as I'm getting back out of my missions, out of my camps, out of my vacations, out of my summer mode, and school is starting to get on that horizon. We're about 2 weeks away from the start of school. I feel like routine's setting in, and I'm actually feeling like I want to pick up a book tonight that I'm really excited to go read. So do not give up and do not feel guilty for the times that you don't. Just have that book. Try those little tricks. I'll list them below for you in the description to recap, and let me know what you're reading, what you're excited to read. Like and subscribe. Come back next week for the book reviews so you can see if maybe one of those books is a book to put on your TBR list. Thanks, y'all. Take care.